Welcome, YouTube. Hopefully you can hear me okay. We're doing something a little different again tonight, but it is in Skyrim again. So, a little bit of an apology as well, first of all. There's some work going on in the garden, which is right outside my window. So, you may hear the occasional thing, a machine, or something, I don't know. Something like that. Anyhow. I do a little bit of a vloggy thing of catch up sometimes, first of all, when I do this. So, first bit, if you don't know, or you do know, there's some different things. I have some nasal issues, and I'd seen the doctor on Monday, hospital doctor and nose expert, and for the moment, I've got some different treatments that are basically steroid based that kind of super pump my immune system. So my voice should be sounding a little bit different. I have been a bit hyper from them. And just a minute. Sorry about that. Interruptions. So, have been kind of a hyper afternoon. It's one of the side effects of some of the steroid-based things that they're trying to do before they go, oh, you need an operation, so do it. But I can actually breathe through my right nostril, which I can't tell you is a very good feeling right now. So my voice should be sounding a little bit better than it was from last night. But I can still do with shoes just in case. Right. So, where to go on? Skyrim VR, PS4, PSVR Pro especially. They all got a bit of a graphics boost last night, and I mean a serious graphics boost, and I was sort of like, this is really good. And I was kind of curious to see how PC weighs up against the PSVR versions as well. So, since there's a Steam sale going on at the moment, I thought, okay, let's just do it. So what I've got lined up is my Oculus Rift with Skyrim VR running on Steam VR. Now, I don't have the most powerful system in the world, so occasionally you may see some jutter or stuff like that. Probably won't be the same in the headset, because this is running from something called Oculus Mirror, which is kind of like, you know, the equivalent to the social screen for the PSVR, except it's not hardware based, it's software based, which means that it does tax my PC a bit more. And like I say, I don't have the biggest system. I'm running on a GTX 970. So the graphics could be better for someone who has a much higher system. But we'll give it a go anyway and just see what's on the PC VR side rather than the PSVR side and see how they compare. Of course, if you want to comment and stuff like that, I should be able to hear the comments when they come in. The other side of this mirror thing that I was saying about is that for some of this, the screen that you're going to see, the display gameplay, is stretched outwards, so it's going to look a little bit disproportionate. In the headset, it will look real scale, real world, and I've got some comparison places to get to. I'm going from the very beginning. And the beginning of the Oculus thing here actually has the beginning menus that we have on the PSVR for the startup, the intro. it's a brand new game for me on PC side, so I will be starting from the beginning, and I'll try to get to some of the points that I've in the game that I've saved as a separate video, so that we can actually do a side-by-side comparison live as I'm filming it. We'll have to see how successful I can be there. Right, so all of that said, if you're new to the channel, of course, we'll get this out of the way. Do some likes, subscribe, ask questions, comments, notification bell thing. Dislike if you dislike, but I'd rather you like. And then any questions you have, I'll try to answer them. But once again, this is the PC version, Oculus, of Skyrim. And when I get past this start part, we'll hopefully get to a point where we can do some comparisons between what it's like on visually on the PC and what it's like on the PSVR, because that update yesterday was major update and has improved the graphical look of Skyrim on the PS4 Pro, and from all reports on the OG PS4, but I'm yet to dive back into the OG PS4. I may end up doing a bit of a OG PS4 versus PS4 Pro versus PC VR, so you can get a comparison and the before and afters of the newest patch. But let's dive straight into this with the Oculus Rift and see how it compares on the PC. Not just graphically, but as an experience. So we have the beginning screens, which is basically going to be the same sort of configuration thing that happens with the PS4 now on the PSVR. So we're going to go through this and then move on to game and try and get somewhere. So environmentally wise, it looks really good in PC, it has to be said. Of course, I've got different type of tracking, obviously, with PC. I'm on teleport as a default at the moment. I don't like teleport. We'll be switching that. So it'll be teleportation. So one advantage, obviously, that the Rift is going to have over on Oculus and on Oculus is the thumbsticks. On the Rift you've got the touchpad things, but I don't really rate touchpad things for movement. I don't like those that way. But we're going to do that and say yes. So now I've got things like that. And it's got the blinders that are coming in. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got things that have sort of zoomed in there. And I don't like those. We'll get rid of those in a minute. Boom. And it's going to ask me smooth turning or snap turning. And I'm going to go with smooth turning. Continue. So I can smooth turn. Again with this stick. I'm going to be changing some of the options up in there because I have certain speeds I will like. So let's just how do you get to... That's a point. I don't know what the buttons for getting to system are. So that gives me that. VR. And I want snap, gradual, snap amount, rotation speed. Somewhere around there is what I normally like. Direct movement mode, one relative, HDMI relative. Well, I'm used to one relative back on the PSVR, so I'm going to do that. Compass position low is good. Main right hand shows hands while sheathed. Yes, we like that. Height. Let's find out. It should have my height from systems. Yes, that's about right. Y and B, I've got to get used to this as well because you have A and B and Y and B, and obviously from PSVR I'm used to X's, circles, squares and triangles. So I do still have a thing with remembering it's A, B and Y and X. Okay, that's cool. Image-wise so far, pretty comparable. Like I say, I don't have the hottest system in the world, so that's...
HORRORVILLE999 says, I can confirm PS4 original is 100 times better. Draw distance is amazing. For me it's clear as day. Books and in-game words, menus shape and clear. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yes, I know. I've taken a look at the PSVR, but I wanted to do a comparison to what the PC side gets as well. The new patch for the Pro especially is... I'm not sure of what their native render resolution is now. It'd be nice if Bethesda would chime in and say, hey, this is what we've actually done as a native render on here. So, yes, no, crap. How do I do defaults? Grab, cancel. Realistic bow. Realistic swim. Realistic sneaking. Physical sneaking. We'll leave the physical sneaking alone for now. Okay. Great. And VR performance. Like I say, I'm not on a performance system, but let's just have a look at what's in here. So, at the moment, I'm quality preset medium. Obviously, the view you're seeing is going to be stretched a bit. Let's just take a look and see what happens when I up it. So, this could get a little bit skippy. Yeah, this could get frame skippy. So, just because I don't have the GPU power in my system to do this properly. So, I've just put that to high. Just put that all the way up. And turn that off. Shadow quality high. Distance. Everything is on there. Tree. Object fade, gas fade. We leave that stuff alone for the moment. Right. Ooh. Okay. This will restart some things. Hopefully nothing will die in the process. Well, it did graphical changes straight away. So... But that looks good. One thing I will note is they've got the goggly things coming in. Why is there a POV filter? I don't like POV filter. Let's see. Settings. VR. Where is the FOV filter, isn't it? It's FOV filter. We want that off. Oh, tracking. Okay. I had a tracking issue, but that's not good. No, we don't. Cancel. Bought that. And that goes to that. Okay. So this is on full whack, and wow, that's good. That is actually a lot more shocking as a resolution hike than I was expecting. Like, seriously. Okay. Yep, that works. Is the frame skipping a lot on the stream? Just out of curiosity. If it's doing okay, that'll be amazing, because if it's keeping the frames up, that'll be great. If it's not, please, you know, tell me. I'll fix that, but this is looking really good. It is a little bit, I know it's a little bit, I know that my computer is suffering, I can see straight away.
HORRORVILLE999 says, bow set to real is much better too.
Wait a second. Yeah, the thing set to real is definitely a hell of a lot better. So, we're at the game select, and we're just going to go straight into a new. Oh, that soundtrack coming in. So, I'm doing from a new game, start new game, yes. So, yeah. It is good they're giving you the choice of how you shoot the bow. That because when it was just like a single aim point, it kind of felt good, but not quite. Back to the beginning again. Wow, I don't know how I feel about that. That's really weird. We get to see dragons and stuff like that. Now I'll try to go through the gameplay as quick as possible. Hey dudes, yeah. Frame rate, I know I'm down on frame rate at the moment. I can feel that it's not a full 90, but I'm comfortable enough with where it's at. That's just because I'm running on a.
You're finally awake.
Hey, yeah.
You were trying to cross the border, right?
Yeah. Oh, one thing. Where's that? Okay. I've just noticed something. Systems, VR. We want... No, show hands while sheathed. Okay. Don't know why it's not showing my hands while sheathed. Oh well. It may be something to do with the Oculus versus whatever thing.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, could have stolen that horse and been halfway to Hammerfell. You there, you and me.
The clarity is great, but if I had more graphical power, then this is a lot more insane of a resolution hike inside the Oculus than I thought it would be.
Watch your tongue. You're speaking to Ulfric Stormcloak.
So it really has done well in terms of
You're the leader of the rebellion.
how it's presented. I mean, that's like some serious detail. I mean,
Where are they taking us?
oh no, it did the whole
Know where we're going,
snap.
but Sovngarde awaits. No, This can't be happening. This isn't
The frame rate, of course, is suffering for me at the minute.
Hey, what village are you
But this super sampling and everything is crazy. That's actually really good.
Nord's last thoughts should be of home.
Oh,
Rorikstead. I'm from Rorikstead.
wow. I think the difference... How can I compare this as a difference in terms of sharpness? In terms of sharpness, these graphical settings, it really is a jump above what the PSVR can do, but this frame rate sucks. This frame rate does suck. Let's put this into some more sensible settings. I turn the super sampling off. Let's just say low. Let's say medium. Let's try it on medium, because that was like maxed out. I mean, maxed out.
They had something to do with this.
Okay. So on my system now, it's a little bit better. It's not as sharp as the PS4 Pro. There. Actually, this looks a little bit blurred compared to what the PS4 Pro.
HORRORVILLE 999 says, "What is your PC processor?"
PC processor is a i7. Let me see. Core i7 5820 Haswell 6 core. So it's got a really big level high cache on it, and there is 32 gig of RAM in here, and we're running a MSI GTX 970 in here. There's no overclocking on this system.
Face your death with some courage, thief. You've got to tell them we weren't with you. This is a mistake.
Record the block when we call your name. One at a time.
The old bugs.
Empire loves their damn lists.
Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm.
It has been an honor, Jarl Ulfric.
Ralof of Riverwood.
Okay.
Lokir of Rorik.
BMX 7596 says, "PS4 Pro stacks up well considering. I paid $225. Thomas V.
Yeah. Oh
says,
yeah.
"How comfortable is the Oculus compared to the PSVR?"
The headset itself, it depends. It's not bad actually. So, to give you a sort of idea, I think in terms of resting on your face, the PSVR is definitely more comfortable. I just like the arrangement of the headset a bit better there. The standard interface that you have on the Oculus
Cactus Gaming
is
murder.
a little bit different. Murder, yeah. Let's no, cancel. I'm going to not be prisoner. I'm going to be me.
You picked a bad time to come home to Skyrim, kinsman. Captain, what should we do? He's not on the list.
Forget the list. He goes to the block.
I just left everything
BMX
stands. We're just gonna go on there.
7596
At least you'll
says,
die here.
"Is the PS4 frame rate good? Cactus Gaming says, murder them all.
Cactus, you are very nasty about that. Careful about the caps though, my bot might come and get you. The frame rate on a PS4, PSVR, is always locked to a minimum of 60 FPS. It does not drop. Ever. Full stop. Whether you're on a standard or a pro. That's always locked in. Here on the PC is a different question. Like I say, I've not got the highest spec of PC. So, I've got some real frame rate issues at the minute. So I'm going to put that to low. It says I need to redo that, but from past things so far...
BMX 7596 says, you can't force it lock the frame rate on PC.
No. You can't, because it's... if you set the settings too high, the PC will go, I can't deal with that, and will slow down. Whereas on a console, ooh, yeah, that happened. So even on this low setting, this is a lot more, is comparable a bit to the PSVR, but at the moment the geometry is not as sharp. That'll be me. Is not as sharp as it is on the Pro now. So the general geometry at the moment overall on the PSVR is higher than the low settings. So that means that PSVR really is a very, very good deal. Oh, yeah. This bit's always uncomfortable.
What in oblivion is that?
Oh, that's a dragon! Hey, dragon! Haha! That looks so cool. Yeah. Nope. I don't want to be teleporting, I don't need to teleport, yay. So they haven't changed all the game dialogue and things there.
What is that thing? Could the legends be true? Legends don't burn down villages.
But dragons do. Let's go.
We need to move now.
Yeah, we need to move. I'm getting ready to move. Come on. Come on.
With me, up the tower.
So yeah, FPS on a PC is not a locked-in thing.
Thomas V says, I think Skyrim VR is still too expensive now, but it looks great.
No, I think in terms of price, if you haven't played it before, then my god, it's fine. And don't forget, at the moment, on the PC side, we actually have... Oh! Oh, I'm burning! Watch out for that, I don't want to be burnt. This bit's fun, excuse me for a minute. I enjoyed this bit originally because you've got all of these. Look, get out of the way! Yeah.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I was going to buy a PS4 Pro to play Skyrim, but I couldn't believe how clear it is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, you're still an OG? Look at this, like. So this obviously is the PC side, which, like I say, the PS4 Pro on low settings here. I'm on low settings because I don't have an over-the-top graphics card, is not quite as sharp in terms of the render geometry. Is this not as sharp? Oh, would you look at that size of him? It does just get me, Skyrim. Okay, so we're into there. Great. So yeah, I mean, if you got an OG or are you on a Pro as well? If you are an OG, I haven't tried the OG after the patch.
HRRORVILLE999 says yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know, obviously, yet how the OG compares to the Pro, which I will be looking into that, I think. But I know the improvement over on the Pro would be like the difference, almost the difference between before the patch on the OG. It was kind of like having Vaseline smeared all over the inside of your lenses, and you had to blur a lot, and it really did make it hard to play for a long time. How do we do things? Yeah. No, they're not.
There you go. Take a
Thank you.
There should be plenty of gear to choose from.
8 open containers. Nothing in there. So yeah, it's kind of like take them all is on Y. That one's over that side.
There's got to be a sword or two in one of these chests. Look around.
So yeah,
See if one of these chests
oh yeah.
has some armor for you.
Now I'm not sure exactly how big of a leap for the OG it is, but originally the OG was kind of really was looking through it through smeared lenses, by comparison to what the Pro had to offer. So
BMX
yeah.
7596
Interesting to see.
says, so PS4 Pro is medium settings.
Let's see. PS4 Pro, by comparison, it's hard to make the comparison actually, because in terms of textures, the textures in here are immensely better. I've got dynamic scaling on here, so the interior doesn't have as much geometry to load. So inside here, it's looking better than the Pro in terms of some of the textures and the geometry because it's on dynamic scaling. When I got out there, that was a different ball game completely. Such a different ball game. There it wasn't looking as good as the Pro on the actual sharpness of the edges, but the max resolution does help in here, but not enough. So yeah, if you're playing on the PC, you're going to want some beefy processing behind it to max those settings out. The max settings, everything was looking so gorgeous, but my frame rate was just suffering bad. So, don't need that. I want to put that there, so I've got sword. That's equipped. So I equip by pressing that. There we go, that's equipped there. And I can put it as a favourite. Okay.
You gotta get that armor on. Give that sword a few swings too. Let's keep
Okay,
moving.
so
That thing is still out there.
So, what's the... Ah, okay, that does that. That's my favourites. I'm still having a moment to work out stuff, so it's like, why? Okay. Iron sword. What was the menu? That puts what? No. Sorry while I work this out. Oh, okay, so that's a cancel.
HORRORVILLE999 says, Imonog, you're right, it was very blurry. It'd play a few hours, but after patch I did at least a 10-hour play and it felt like I was playing on AHD TV. You're going to be blown away at how good it is now.
Right. If that is the case, what I used to have was on the OG, I could play an hour and a half before my eyes got really fuzzy and it gave me a headache. On the PS4 Pro, originally, most I ever played was 8 hours straight. So from 1.5 hours to 8 hours, that was just due to the difference in the clarity of the graphics from a pre-patched OG to PS4. Now, PS4 Pro. Now, with the PS4 Pro's additional, that's almost the same type of boost. It does feel that much more sharp. I'd really be surprised if the patch on the PSVR Pro hasn't actually boosted that to almost full native render resolution. Here, of course, on the Oculus, they've got two screens which are both 1080p's, which are the same resolution as the single screen of the PSVR. But the PSVR has a different sub-pixel arrangement, its screen door works a lot better, and the screens of this are that way up. So you've actually got on the PSVR a slightly wider field of view than the Oculus. But you've got a higher detail concentration here on the Oculus. But you also have a more pronounced screen door effect due to there being a lower number of subpixels. And the lens types being different, and Fresnel lenses and all this business.
We need to get moving. That dragon is tearing up the whole keep.
Just give me a minute. I'm out of there.
Hear that? Stormcloaks. Maybe we can reason with them. Hold on now. We don't talk. You want to die? So be it. Let me see if I can get that door open.
Okay. Warhammer. At the moment, I've got plenty of space to take stuff, so we're just going to take everything. Oh! That is so weird doing that, and I guess that's crouch. Aha!
Come on, this way.
So, A. Shields. We're going to take everything. And, you. You'll just take it and sell it. You know. Oops.
Come on, this way.
I want to, that's favourites. See, this is the thing that's really getting me. How do I get to the main menu?
Come on, this
I
way.
don't know how to get back to the menu where I can choose things. I know how to put stuff away now. There. Or I thought it did. Items, of course. So it's this one. Okay. Done. Where's the shield? All. So we've got apparel. So I want fur boots to put those on. Equip. Gauntlets equip. I want that on this hand. Imperial light armor. Okay. Great. So now I've got a shield. Yeah. So I was just reading back in the text. Yeah, I do think the resolution boosts are amazing.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I suffered bad motion sickness due to the fuzzing games, but looking at latest update to games like Skyrim, Wipeout and Star Trek DLC, I feel like PSVR is a VR contender, before it was falling short.
I think that sometimes it's also a case of what games you play as you're getting your VR legs. So a lot of people do actually play games, they jump into games that they're not ready for yet, or the settings are just too wild for them. The same happens for a lot of different areas where motion sickness is involved, you know. Things like fighter pilots, for example. Low-level fighter flight for fighter pilots is a big motion sickness problem, but they get used to it over time. But it is a case of quite often a lot of people will jump into games such as Skyrim and things like this straight away because they want to be blown away by this thing they want to play, whereas sometimes you need to take a step back and play some of the more simpler experiences. A good example is Moss, where you look around your environment. The environment doesn't move so much. It's not a free locomotion thing. It's about getting used to how your sight and your brain works in this virtual world. And then you steadily increase it up with some other things that include a bit more motion. And then as it goes, you'll find that, okay, I can handle this with blinkers, or I can't handle that with blinkers, or I can handle the smooth turning in this one, but not in that one. You go, why is it I can't handle the smooth turning in that game, but I can in that one? And then you go, hang on a second, is the speed at which smooth turning an issue? Is jump turning an issue? Is the speed at which the movement is moving forwards, or whichever way around, is that the issue that's triggering it? There's so many things that trigger those outside of just resolution. And determining down what is the problem there can quite often be strange. It's the same on like driving games like Dirt Rally. If you're using a wheel setup, I always recommend that you actually do use the setting which locks you to the car, you know, the actual driver's head position, as opposed to the horizon, because for me, where I was using the actual physical steering wheel with force feedback, I was feeling things through my body there that I wasn't seeing happening. So as soon as when I had the smooth motion on that was meant to stop me feeling motion sick, I actually found that it made me motion sick. as soon as I went to the setting and said, hey, no, I don't want this motion sick setting that's supposed to protect me, I actually felt fine and good with it. So it's very, very a mixed barrel subject as to what is going to help you or not. Let's take all of those.
Done then? This way.
Yeah. So yeah, it's odd. I don't think graphical resolution is the only thing. Okay.
Those happened along just in time. These boys seemed a bit upset at how I've been entertaining their comrades.
On here.
Hot dragon, please don't make up nonsense.
That is good. So this is the dragon book. Turn pages that way. I wish they'd do a grab like you do in Moss with that. They don't, but never mind. Yeah, there is a big difference on there, so we're gonna take that.
Although come to think,
Just because it's book, first book.
Odd noise is coming from over there.
Come with us. We need to get out of here.
You have no authority over me, boy.
Did you hear me? I said the keep is under attack.
Forget the old man. I'll come with you.
Wait a second. Looks like there's something in this cage.
Don't bother with that. Lost the key ages ago. Poor fellow screamed for weeks.
See if you can get it open with some picks. We'll need everything we can get.
Sure. Take all my things.
Okay, so how do we do this? Use the left one to rotate the lockpick, then the right to rotate the lock. Easiest lockpick ever.
Grab what you can and let's go.
Okay. What's he got on him as well? Mage, he's got gold, we'll take. Magic. Magic. Excellent.
There's no way out that way.
We'll find one. He's such an unpositive person. Think positive. What else was we doing about, we were saying about, this way, that way. No? Ah, okay, grab button on the left. Okay. Hey, you. Okay, let's do this. Oh, spiders. I hate spiders. I'm arachnophobic, and this is one of the things about VR. It puts you in situations where you have to deal with it.
Where in Oblivion are we supposed to go? Where's the way out?
Just give me a minute. Let me think.
Stormcloak! Go!
It's not the long
Got him.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I agree to a point, but Drive Club made me sick, but Eve I was fine. Wipe out him fine. Dirt him fine, I use wheel. But you're right, there are a lot of reasons. Do you enjoy playing standing up in VR?
I do actually. When it's an action game, I love to stand up because that's what I'm doing in the game. Plus, oh, that way. Sorry. I've got my back to you guys there. How rude of me. I do enjoy standing up in the game. I like standing up for standing games. Which, of course, if I come home and I'm feeling very tired or something, then a standing game is usually my first choice. I will play a game that's more seated.
HORRORVILLE999 says, spiders are the worst in the same, lol.
Yeah, they are just like, oh my good god. Search will have arrows. Yes, don't need those, don't need those. Iron shield is the same as what we've got. Iron sword. Can always sell some of this stuff. 30, 25. 25. Stuff to sell. Right. Menu system is definitely different. It works quite well actually. Power, potions, weapons. So we're going to want to put this greatsword. Favourite is going to be a B. So while where's the oh, I didn't take his where's the bow? Longbow. I want that longbow. Take. Weapons. Longbow. Favourite. Okay. That looks so good. The lighting and everything in this game is amazing, it has to be said. Environmentally, this, if I could turn the settings up to the full whack, so, you know,
We'd better push on. I'm sure the others will find another way out.
it would be amazing. So, I mean, what happens with this, if I was to, let's just, actually we'll get past this and then I'll do the comparisons where I can. This just so looks good. Yeah, standing up while playing standing up games is definitely for me. Okay. Yeah. No. That's worth money. You've got to take that. I want my iron arrow back. Whoa, dude.
Must have scared them. What
I'm out of arrows?
giant snakes?
What was that of arrows? Did I take that arrow? No. Okay. We're not going up that way, we're coming down here.
Together down here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's a bear moment. Should we sneak past the bear, or are we killing the bear?
Hold up. There's a bear just ahead. See her? I'd rather not tangle with her right now. You might be able to sneak by. Just take it nice and slow, and watch where you step. Or if you're feeling lucky, you can take this bow. Might take her by surprise. Go ahead. I'll follow your lead and watch your back.
HORRORVILLE999 says, is this your first play or a replay? The sound is awesome, really draws you into the game. I use Sony MDR headphones, they're spot on.
It's not my first bit of a play because I've played on PSVR. So I played from the start on PSVR. I haven't gone all the way through the game, so please don't do too many spoilers or something. I also play generally with a different headset, so I don't play with the Sony ones. Actually, I've got a pair of Sennheisers over there, but obviously on the Oculus you've got the built-in jobs, which are pretty good actually. Should we try and sneak past the bear? I'm not sure which way we're supposed to go actually, or should we do the bear in? The bear pelt could be worth some money. So yeah, not my oh. Got arrows, longbow. We did the sneaky sneak.
That was close.
Don't know what's. Oh, I know. I know. That is why I don't have any arrows. Haha! So yeah, I have played 4 on the PSVR, so that's why there's a bit of comparison. We're going to do the comparison bits once I get to somewhere where I can actually show you got video that is from the PS4 Pro that I just recorded a bit earlier. So once we get through this sort of intro parts, right, you can see now I've come outside. The render distance is a lot further, so this is sort of like gone down in detail.
But I don't think we should stick around to see if you
so the sharpness in here at the moment is not quite as good as the PS4 Pro.
It's probably best if we split up. Good luck. I wouldn't have made it without your help today.
No, I'm not going to split up. I'm following you to get those other quest points or... I want the other quest points.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I would NT ruin it by telling you anything. Working it out is the fun.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously at this point it's okay because I have done this part. Quite a bit past this part. I'm looking for, I think, the vampire part next on the PSVR. So, we do have a good bit of other stuff going on there.
See
yeah.
that ruin up there? Bleak Falls Barrow. When I was a boy, that place always used to give me nightmares.
It's cool up there.
Creeping down the mountain to climb through my window at night. That kind of thing. I admit, I still don't much like the look of it.
Now we have the stones bit. See, in my main game, because I didn't know much, I went straight for magic. I'm actually a Nord, so really...
3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape.
He gives the, the stuff. I can't remember which, but in the thing before, I was mage, I kind of always like the idea of mage in here, but we're going to go activate a warrior, I think, this time, maybe. But I do like the whole shooting magic with hands thing. Shooting magic with hands thing is really cool. What do you reckon? Should I be different this time and go as a warrior? Or still stick with my favourites as a mage? It's a hard call to make, that one. I should play the game a bit different. I should play it different on a PC, because I've got the mage side there. I should play a warrior. So, accept.
Warrior. Good. I knew you shouldn't have been on that cult the minute I laid eyes on you.
That's cool though. I mean, look at this stuff. The effects are great. One thing this has got me wanting to do though is to actually get a better graphics card, because having seen...
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, you've already earned your point. But until we get that confirmed by General Tullius, just stay clear of other Imperial soldiers and avoid any complications, alright?
Okay, what will that do? But yeah, it's the frame rate issue here on PC with the amount of graphic power I have.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I think we're around the same part, warrior.
Okay.
HORRORVILLE999 says, nice to try new ways.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people have played this game through a lot of different ways over the years. You know, and you do have people who return to the game and go, I don't want to pay the money for this, that and the other. And I'm like, actually, I don't mind. Because if I buy it again on another system, it's because I think it deserves it. Which I have. Because I wanted to see what it would look like on the PC. And obviously I need a more beefy PC to really take advantage of this. Because I've seen the... I mean, let's just... This will be a nice site. So, I'm just going to do something. It's not going to give you a straight up view here because... sorry. I can't see... Here we go. So, as a view, on the left, you should be seeing now, yeah, you are. On the left, you are seeing footage from the PS4 Pro. And obviously on the right, you've seen footage that I've got here. Now, the problem I'm going to have is my system is going to find this very, very difficult. So it's going to be a bit jumpy on the right, and that's just because of system performance that I've got an issue with. So I want to be able to show you a little bit of how high the graphics fidelity, and I'm going to choose some places to look at and keep my head still. So, if we go into the performance side here, first off we take this dynamic resolution out of the picture. Now that immediately clears up a lot and makes everything sharp. And the resolution boost actually, just by doing that, is incredible here on the PC. If you've got a full-on PC with like a GTX 1080 or 1080 Ti, that's going to be amazing. Now, that's still on a low quality preset, but with the dynamic resolution turned off. So it's going to the full render thing. If I now place this into high, take that off, put all this up, Yeah. And then show you what that looks like. So in terms of clarity, this is now so unbelievably sharp in the Oculus. Like, there's some small floating fluffy thing in the air, and I can see that as that is moving away into the middle distance. And we look all the way up into that mountain and just, my god. But obviously my PC cannot take the requirements for this. So there is a huge graphical jump, actually, much more than I was expecting, between the Oculus and the PSVR. It's not so much that I would say you must get an Oculus and a high-end PC to be able to play it, because on the PS4 Pro and the PSVR, it's so convincing to put yourself into this world. The resolution there is still really just freakishly good. It's up to the highest sort of levels of the system at the moment. Here on the Oculus, though, I have some issues.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I was at PC World today. I will be getting PC VR in near future. I think with a beefed up gaming PC is a must. You're selling me the idea.
See, this is the problem though. The beefed up PC, it's the graphics card that's going to do the big grunt work. And they are expensive. I mean, that pushes the price up a lot. Because you're talking, if you're going like, like I say, I've got a GTX 970 in here, which is now an old card. You can get something like a 1060 or a 1070, and they should be pretty good. Then you can get the 1080. The cheapest I've seen a 1080 for is £450. So that's a lot of money. And then you've got the price of actually everything else that you'd need for a decent PC build. So that can turn into a very expensive prospect for what is essentially just graphical fidelity. There is some other, like I say, obvious things such as the room scale and the better tracking, but those are by no means the be-all and end-all. Really aren't. Because it's just like a mind-blowing experience on the PSVR. Let's see here. Okay, I need to switch that back to a different view. Sorry, I keep on doing that. Okay, we're back to there. My frame rate is still a bit off because, like I say, there's a lot more geometry. This entire game is not...
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right over the barrel.
Dragons now, is it? If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy.
I love that
And I've got better things
dialogue
to do than
part.
listen to more of your fantasies.
You'll see. It was a dragon. It'll kill us all, and then you'll believe me.
You're quite right, but I'm not going to say a word. Open the door. Ta-da! Dialogue, dialogue, dialogue.
We have company.
Hey dude, how you doing?
Hadvar, we've been so worried about you. Come, you two
Hey.
must be hungry. Sit down and I'll get you something to eat.
Good job on the wife, dude.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I've got about £3,000 to get set up. Do you think that's enough for VR and decent PC?
You know I was assigned.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We will stop
So, I mean-
when we were attacked by a dragon.
In terms of PC build, if you're building yourself, you can choose what you're doing component-wise. But I would say, obviously, do your research on what you're getting. Make sure things want to play nice together. And the other side is make sure you've got a decent power supply inside, because and the USB slots, ports and things like that, because it does take up a lot of USB power. And there's some other things you want to look at with Oculus and things like that, such as a third sensor, and then you've got some powered. It's very important to have powered hubs that are USB hubs that are repeaters, not just straight up USB extenders, because they won't work with sensors. They won't work with sender stuff. Yes, that's great. Yes, I will. How do I get to there?
Cross the river and then head north. You'll
Great.
see it just past the falls.
So
When you get
there
to
are
White
things you
Run,
can do.
just
£3,000 for a VR setup,
to the top of the
yeah,
hill.
easy.
You're at Dragon's Reach.
You could probably get, like I say, if you're careful with what you're doing in terms of setup. If you want a really good PC, I think you can probably get something that will do the VR really well for maybe 1,200, 1,500, and then you've got a bit of extra on top, obviously, for headset. And there's a couple of extras. If you wear glasses, I've got extra glass, like prescription glasses that have been VR glasses in here, so-
HORRORVILLE999 says, great advice. Grateful for your advice and insight.
Not a problem. But yeah, I think your graphics card is the thing to look at. And as I say, you can get... There are some 1080s out there, brand new, on Amazon even, for...
Did you really see a dragon? What did it look like? Did it have
I
big
need to
teeth?
talk.
Take what you need, my friend. Within reason, of course. Jarl Balgruuf, he rules Whiterun Hold. A good man, perhaps a bit overcautious, but these are dangerous times. Well, I'd better get back to work. You two
Right.
make yourselves at home.
It's
Oh,
nice
That's
to be
cool.
back in a friendly spot, huh? Listen, I'm going to lay up here for a while. You can make your own way to Solitude from here. I'd recommend heading to Whiterun, just down the road from here. From there you can take a cab. Just head north, you can't miss it. It's the capital of Whiterun Hold,
You lost?
the biggest and the best of the 9 holds of Skyrim. But don't take my word for it. Keep your guard up. Be careful on the way to Solitude.
Okay.
Damn Stormcloaks.
Yeah, no, I think the graphics card is very important. Obviously, RAM is important. If you're going to be using it for gaming only, the RAM setup can be pretty important. So when you're looking at RAM, you want to go, okay, how much do you want to play on that? 16, I've got 32 gigabytes in mine. That's because I do video. So, because I do video, what I wanted is not necessarily the fastest amount of speed of RAM. I actually wanted as many slots as I could, still fast as I can, but as much as I can, because of how video editing works. If you're gaming, you typically want to say, okay, I might want a couple of sticks to spread the load time across the PCI bus, but you're also going to want as fast as you can. So this plays again into making sure to do your research on what motherboard you're going to use, the architecture there, what that applies to for the PCI slot speeds, your graphics card slots. Make sure that's compatible. Then the process that you're going to be using, all those things play into each other. So just make sure that if you're going to do your own system build, make sure everything's going to run nicely together in what you think you want. So if it's going to be a straight up VR gaming machine, you're going to be wanting to look at reasonable processor, because there are still some processor intensive stuff in there. Minimum i5. i7 is always nice to have, and you want something more beefy on the graphics card side. So as close as you can get to a 1080 is probably good. 1080 Ti's are stupid expensive. I don't know how much you're going to gain over the top there, because when you go up to the very top, the price becomes a lot higher for a lot less gain. So I think you could get something like 1080, just straight up 1080 MSI, the Overclockers edition, I think, for $450.
HORRORVILLE999 says, what puts me off building my own is horror stories of people getting fake PC stuff. It's gaming only.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience because I did buy a lot of my components. I made sure and buy from a reputable place. I haven't gone to eBay to buy stuff. So I've got Amazon, where you've got obviously the background check of things like that, or you've got other gaming specific sites. Right, we need to get to River Run. Chicken! Was it this way or the other way? I can never remember. Let's pull up my map, which is that one. No? It's this one. And I want to get to there. So no, I'm heading the right way. X. Yep. Okay. We're going this way. And it's night.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I'm going i7 as I want a little bit of future proofing.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I also went the i7 route. Like I say, the RAM is the other thing you're looking at. If you are doing for gaming, then you want the fastest RAM that your system can handle, spread across a couple of sticks. I would probably go, nowadays I think 16 gig is a good way to be at for gaming. As I say, I've got 32 gig in my system. That's because I'm looking more at video, so my RAM isn't actually as fast, but I've got more sticks and a higher capacity. I want to go down this way, is it?
HORRORVILLE999 says, right, I'll sit and let you play. Thanks again.
That's cool. I was too late. But no, please feel free to ask questions. It's not big deal. I like being able to help somebody out and wherever I can on that. Right, I come down here. And this is the area. Now, here's a question. There's certain parts I want to get to here. Ah, it is such a beautiful game though. Yeah, I'll take those. Hey dude. So we're heading over there. Don't know how. How will I open up that menu? Ooh, that's a good question. I want to be able to change time. Oh. Value. Not worth it. We'll leave those. I do want to be able to change time, and I want to be changing time around here. And there's a specific reason for that. No. 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 I want to change time in here. No, because that's more iron. How do I change time? Menu. There's that one. Hours waiting. How do I... General stats? Gameplay. Help. There we go. Archery, brawl, Bible containers, crime and jail, disease, riding, fast travel. I need time. Leveling things up. I just want to change time.
HORRORVILLE999 says, "I'll let you know how I get on and get some more advice when I shortlist PCS."
Okay, cool. Yeah, just take. I would take your time. If it's something you're gonna do anyway, then yeah. Take a look at what you're doing. Make sure it's the right choice for you. I don't know how to get to. Let's see from if I do. No, not that one. That one. Skills. This skills tree. That looks gorgeous. I do love the skills tree in here in VR. It's so cool. Okay, what we'll do is I'm going to up my graphics again.
HORRORVILLE999 says, you can only mine when you have pickaxes.
Yeah, I know you can only mine when you have a pickaxe. What I'm trying to do is actually change time. Because I wanted a different time of day so that I can match up with some video that I shot earlier. I can't figure out how to get the time menu up. Because normally on the PSVR, you just tap the settings button like you was going to the options button, basically, like you was going to reset your vision. But here on the Oculus, you've got like the system buttons, which like system and system menu. So this one does my Oculus system, which you're not going to be able to see this when I do that. I've now got a menu system that has come up here. I can see headset settings, and then if I turn around, I can actually see the chat window where you've just said you can only mine when you have pickaxes. So there's that difference in terms of the PC side. So I'm just sort of like, how do I change time? So I don't know how to do that in here. But because I want to show you a comparison part, basically. Let's see, VR performance, yes. Turn that off and do that. So this is going to put my res back up, so the sharpness will be there, and I should be able to then do this view, and then it's going to have possibly some frame rate issues. Sorry about those. But it should give you an idea if I... which way round did I go? I went from this way before. So at some point you should see an image that will match up with this location. It's not too long a video on the PC side there, so just so you can see that, I should be able to just actually match that up visually. Let's just see if I can do that. My glass is gone. Ah, there we are. Let me just one second. Here we go. So you can kind of see the difference there. I'm going to see it from there. The time difference, so the detail you're seeing there is a little bit different. So that's one of the first locations. Take those glasses off. So yeah, you should hopefully be able to see like a bit of comparison there from what the graphics are like across from the PS4 Pro to the PC from that, though it's different point in time of day. That's why I was fretting over menus. Right. Okay, cool. Right. By the time I get all the way over there, it should be the right time of day, and I can show you some of the sights, hopefully. We're going to go straight across and around. It is an amazing game. So here's a farm.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
That's great. Let's get through here. Thank you. Oh, it is an amazing game. We should get the save point here.
VRVBEANSEL says, late to the Steam, hope you are well, buddy. How's it compare to the recent PSVR Pro patch in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, if you've got the processing power, then, oh my god, wow, there is a lot more clarity than I was expecting. This is on low settings with dynamic resolution, so this is like the lowest of the low that you can have. So on the Pro, the further away these distance objects is a lot sharper. The geometry is actually sharper on the PS4 Pro than it is on my GTX 970. Bearing in mind the GTX 970 is a good few years old now and was, you know, not a top tier graphics card from the get-go. So it's that upper medium side for the graphics card. So it is taxed here, but it's still impressive. The frame rate for me here as well is not so great, but that extra resolution boost of the headset itself is playing some good dividends. But my god, yeah, if you've got the graphics card to power this, it's really stunning. I will show you a good comparison, I think, quite soon. At some point, that will become the new Salsapony. This will be Salsapony the second once we get it. Though I think we're going to call it something else. Ketchup the First. That's the name of that pony will, you know, that horse will become. Ketchup the First. When we buy it. We've got to get to the money to buy it first. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, quite good. There's some differences, obviously, getting used to how movement happens. I mean, movement, I've got thumbsticks on here, so thumbsticks, yeah, that works well. I mean, I can just do that all day long. Of course, if I'm pushing forwards and I do that, it works the same as a move controller. But if I do any direction there, then it goes in the direction that I'm asking it. So what I should really do is head direction more than hand direction. Actually, I should change that. Yeah, let's go and change that quickly. So you can have a quick look at the difference in detail, though. The frame rate will suffer, unfortunately, because, as I say, system-wise, I haven't got a system that's enough. I'm going to do headset relative for a change there. and I'll go back to the VR performance. Where's a good way to be looking? Oops. There's a good way to be looking of, unfortunately. Let's... yeah, so if I'm looking this way, with the mountain and that, this should hopefully show you what the difference in... I have to get used to the menus in here. This should hopefully show you what the difference is graphically, okay? Ready for this? So, this is without the dynamic resolution on. And that's with the dynamic resolution turned off. So you can see there's like a blur on all of the geometry at the moment. Turn that off, the blur strips away a good bit. Now if I go to the super sampling, push that up, and push, actually even go high, super sampling, and dynamic all off, it's like, yeah, it's then a lot sharper and is that much a step above again. So, yeah. Yeah. So, we're going to find things like it wants me to reset the system. I have seen, obviously, that you can get some differences in the graphics. For the super sampling side, I think I will have to restart the game. This way.
Halt. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only.
This one is the quickest route.
Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
VRVin BEANSEL says, cool, we got a good version overall now on PSVR, I think, especially since the recent patch.
Oh yeah.
HORRORVILLE999 says, I'm heading off, buddy. I've subscribed, so I'll see you on a future stream. Good job comparing Skyrim. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thanks for the sub, and yeah, I'll see you again. Pleasure having you on commenting. It's always good when there are people in the stream who ask some questions and things. It's always good to try and help. So, take care. Right, what did you say past that? Yeah, no, we definitely do have a good version now on the PSVR with the patch that's come out there. The resolution boost, I think it's one of the best looking games on the system. I mean, you can go, okay, it's Skyrim, there's a load of graphics that are old, they've replaced a load of the graphical files in there, they've upped the resolution, the clarity overall, they've made improvements to the actual movement systems and the way that you play the game, and those are all things that really do play in its favour. For the money as well, if you've got a PlayStation 4 Pro, at the moment you can pick up a headset for so much cheaper than we got it originally.
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak. Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
Damn,
I'm feeling very short again.
They want to back the Stormcloaks, they'll get
That's about the right height. They're Nords, I suppose. They're going to be tall. Right. I want to be able to change the time of day again, but
If I see that traitor again, I'll throw him in jail myself.
Oh, it's such a beautiful game. I mean, it just throws you into the environment. I mean, you look at that. We're in a different world. You're in like this medieval world. If I had the graphical power, having this at full blast would be amazing. I think the Oculus has less pronounced screen door than, say, the Vive. So I think in terms of headset-wise, I would probably say it's going to be PlayStation with the PS4 Pro is up there for what the PlayStation can do. Like, it's seriously good. From experience of the Vive, the standard Vive, I actually rate the display on the PS4, on the PSVR, as nicer to look at than the Vive, just because the screen door effect on the Vive is so pronounced. On the Vive Pro, it's obviously a different story altogether, because the Vive Pro has that extra resolution. Because you've got two 2K screens in there, basically. And that just really does blow it out of the water when it comes to resolution. So if you had a really powerful PC system and a Vive Pro, you will get the most amazing image in here. Especially, it looks like the textures in here aren't as low res. So I think they've used a lot more of the textures from the HD game, from the HD rehashed version. And I think that's what they've done with the PS4 Pro and the PSVR version. It's probably brought in some of those higher res assets into the game from the HD version and done what they can there, and also then made the geometry, especially on the Pro, be that nice sharp geometry. It just looks
VR
super
than BEANSEL says. Shame it wasn't like that on Pro to begin with, but I'm not moaning.
Yeah, I think it was early doors as well. I mean, as a first throw, what you got on the Pro worked. Definitely worked. The OG version, like I say, I had issues playing for longer periods of time on the OG PS4. Ooh. The other thing is also the changeover of what do you call it? The changeover of textures as well. But the OG PS4 did have that blur that stopped you from being able to play for a long time. So like an hour and a half I could play max.
Avoid Brittleshin Pass. It's southeast of here.
And then on the Pro, I was able to play for about 8 hours straight. Now the Pro is just on point. The sights in here are just amazing. I'm trying to waste time at the moment till it gets to daylight for me, because 2:40 AM. I can't change the time. I don't know how to get to the time menu, because normally on the PS VR you just press the settings, your reset position button, and that would reset your would pull up the time menu if you just tap it instead of holding it to reset your alignment or whatever. But here on the Oculus, you don't have that same system. You have the Oculus Start button thing, which actually pulls up my menus from my Oculus Home straight into the game. So I've got Oculus menus that are overlaid into the game. I don't think you can see those. No, you can't. You'll just see that things are skipping, and I can turn around here. And I've actually got the text window that you guys type into. I can actually see my chat now properly, which is awesome. But I can't bring up the time slip menu to change the time of day.
Thinking of settling in? There's a house for sale. Breeze home. You should talk to the
That's
steward
great,
about
but I
making
need a
it
lot more
convenient.
money for that. We're not there yet with the money, but oh, I love this architecture. It's just so Viking, Nordic. It's really, really cool. Like that middle-aged Nordic feel. Feels very epic.
Warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of mead.
I mean, look at the as soon as you're in this, you feel the scale. It just so good. The rug textures, and this is on the low settings. Like I say, I've got the blurry edge to this for this headset. Indoors, it's doing okay, a bit better on the dynamic resolution because you haven't got the sheer scale that runs back that way.
We cannot afford to act. My lord, please.
Hello, yes, you've got your sword out. You don't trust me.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors.
Who's this then?
Yeah, he may not be, but I have news about that.
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Great. I do like that I can adjust the speed that I walk at with the thumbstick. That is just so much nicer than obviously just having the set speed on the PSVR. So thumbsticks for the win. That's a really big win. Yes, I did.
By Ismir, Irileth was right.
What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
I don't like this guy at the beginning.
We should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger.
In the beginning of the game, I really don't like him.
This is a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not.
I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth,
Like
send a
him.
detachment to Riverwood at once.
Him at the moment, I don't like so much, but later on,
If
he's
you'll
okay.
excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
He seems too much like that advisor that wants to take over.
You sought me out on your own initiative.
Yes, I did.
White run a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There
Thank you.
is another thing you could do for me.
Yep.
Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps.
Okay.
Come,
What's that?
Let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's
Okay.
looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors.
We have this part. I want to get to show you some other things, but we'll play a bit of the storyline out, and then I will show you some more graphics, because by the time we get through this bit of the storyline, the time of day should have changed enough for you to be able to do the comparisons that I've got lined up between the PS4 Pro and the PC when I turn these settings up.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
The faces are so much clearer in here.
To me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
You sold that one to me. I like his approach on, we're going to tell you it's full of danger. It could be there, it couldn't be there. But it's going to be deadly and dangerous. Do you want to do it? And you go, hey, I'm in here, in VR, in a medieval world. And you've just asked me, do I want to go through and do the big dangerous thing in a medieval world with load of weapons, magic and sorcery and all of that business? And you know what? Yep.
Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that.
Exactly.
Those details to your betters, am I right?
You sold it very well.
I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon
Yeah, I know you did.
said to contain a map of dragon burial sites.
And I know you know
Go to
who
Bleak Falls
it
Barrow,
was.
find this tablet,
She's got
no
it.
doubt interred
Stuff
in the
like
main
that.
chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
Now you're lying.
An old tomb built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself.
That's great.
Maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here.
I know
I'm sure
Riverwood.
some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there.
They can.
Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? Sources.
Your sources. Yeah. He has his sources. Huh. Let's just waste some time there.
Yes, technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense.
Yeah, I'll deliver them.
Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task.
Insulting bastard. But we'll let him pass, because I'll get some money and whatever else from it. So, where can I learn about magic, blah blah.
A prospective student, are you? Well, I'm afraid
I'll have
I'm
the
not
magic in the
good
game.
at teaching. You should try your luck at the College of Winterhold.
Yep. Though I'm a warrior, so that's a different thing. Charged weapons on.
Ah, student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then use the arcane enchanter to learn its secrets. The item is destroyed in the process, so be wary. Once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul gem and something to enchant. You'll use the arcane enchanter for that too. Of course,
which is that
I
thing
have
that...
everything you need for sale if you have the coin. Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with
So
you.
this is the
Jarl's
enchanter.
not a patient man. Neither
This
am
is
I.
now going to be loud.
Quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
As you may not have heard, Van, my nose is sounding a little bit better, and that's because of, you know, the whole steroid things, and we'll see how that goes. But basically, there's also mood adjustments, so I have been a little hyper for half the day today, which is kind of cool. But it has its own side effect problems that can go wrong. But I'm going to go up there, and hopefully it'll be daytime. What's the day time now? Yeah, that's good enough. Right. We're going to try something up here. And try and line up the time of day, because we've got some... I think about 7 should be better. 5 is a little too early. But let's just take a quick look around before we go there. So hopefully we can see like the sun come up and it'll be nice and bright. But the architecture around here is so cool. Hey down there. Yeah, I am a little short there. I feel like I should be a bit taller. So that's a bit, you know, what a view. Right. Now, obviously the frame rate is going to suffer here when I do this, but hopefully cool, but we need a couple of hours to pass. Let's have a look in here for a bit more. Because I still need a couple of hours in the game to pass. We can talk to him.
Jarl Balgruf as The Jarl is, as you can imagine, very busy. Perhaps I can assist you. That is an old tale, but well known to those of us who serve in the keep.
I do love the detail. The detail here for the characters as well. That's one of the other big improvements that's happened on the Pro patch. The PSVR patch, is that people appear so much sooner. The detail in facial features and stuff like that looks really good. It does look like it's been enhanced a lot more, so that it's closer in line with what you get through the HD game a bit more. But of course you have different aspects that happen on that. I want to ask you.
Splendid. Our fine city has a proud history, and I'm happy to share what I know.
This game is so rich about backstory in everything. That's what's made this game very popular, but in general, I have to say that outside of VR, I was never interested in this game. In VR, this game really does make sense. And having the extra clarity boosts and everything else to enhance your experience inside the game, to live more within this virtual world, this wonderful, amazing virtual world, is incredible. The job that Bethesda has got done, or the developers, because I mean, the VR expansion of Skyrim was actually taken on by obviously external developers. They said, "Hey, here," things like that. But it's gone in such a good direction with this game, and it's shown so much that there is a lot of people that go, "Hey, you know that game where you're saying it wouldn't be good for VR? Well, guess what? Look at what they did with Skyrim." And people go, "Oh, yeah. And I do hope that Skyrim as a game has, hopefully set some of that things on track. Right, 7 o'clock. We should be maybe about ready now. Yeah, this looks good. So, first things first, I need a small amount of drink. I've only got a small amount of drink left. Gonna do that button. Or that one. Nope. Yeah, that one. Okay, so performance here is going to suffer, unfortunately. But what can you do? We want okay. So the performance here is really going to suffer. Sorry about that. Whereabouts are we on? Let me just I don't want that. That'll do. I think. So hopefully we're going to be seeing some similar bits here. Here on the PC, you can hopefully see where this resolution is kind of going. I mean, on the PSVR, this is quite an amazing sight. Here on the PS, on the Oculus Rift on a PC, with the settings turned up, it's pin sharp, and you've got that extra resolution that just makes it wow. Yeah. Those mountain ridges and everything, it's just got that much bit of extra detail. I just can't say how cool that actually is as a boost as well. These are textures that have been changed as well. I definitely noticed inside of the latest patch for the PSVR has these textures, whereas before it was different, sort of like Minecraft-esque, old school textures, more blockier versions of this type of texture. Whereas this texture is a very different, because they're moss type thing. Still 2D textures over the 3D architecture, which is low poly count there. But everything in this game, even on the OG PS4, all the way through to the PS4 Pro and the PC VR versions, everything here is geometry. As far as the eye can see, all the way from this block of stone all the way through to those huge mountains. It's all geometry. It's not background painted. So the sense of depth and scale in this game truly works perfectly. Just like in real life, it's all there. This extra resolution bump that I've got in here, it really does make me want to go get a decent graphics card, but I can't really afford to do that. I really should not do that. But it's so tempting, because that is amazing. What? Jump. Let's just. I just want to see actually if I can get a better comparison like I did last night with this, so that you guys can see like a definite matchup between one place and the other. So we're about to be at the same sort of spot. So I'm going to concentrate this up here. Now I'm running down to the table there. We're going to go round the table. We come to this same sort of spot, which is just in front of here. And we're going to look there. Okay. Right. Okay. Now that it's daytime here as well, I'm going to go out to my other location. I'm going to keep it on this with, for the moment, to suffer the frame rate drops. Oh. Yeah, I do so want... Oh. Would be too awesome to play it at this resolution. You know, the touch controllers, the Oculus touch controllers, are adding something good to this as well.
Another wanderer here to lick my father's boots. Good job.
Oh. Just the detail involved in some of this is great. There's still some textures which aren't amazing, but who cares? If you've got a PC that can power this all the way to the max, but the one thing that is still prevalent, obviously, from going from an OG PS4 PSVR to a Pro-powered PSVR to this level, is that this game, as it's all geometry based, the impression of scale, the impression of immersion is all just there. What you want in terms of results, because the return on visual fidelity, there is some sharp contrast between this level and what's available from the PSVR. But it comes at a price. If you want it to be truly good, that would come at one hell of a hefty price, in fact. If you haven't got a decent PC to begin with, really would. But, oh god, that is good. Right, let's switch to our comparison view, so we can show you this. I know part of this, the stream rate is suffering. I do apologise for that. Oh hell. That's not bad timing. Okay, so I'm going to get set up around about here.
Trouble in Whiterun, and I'll haul you into the Dragon's Reach dungeon myself.
So that gives you a bit of an idea. Okay, let's go to our next location and show you that.
Poor sods don't even have a wall. You look tired, friend. The Bannered Mare has beds for rest.
Wasn't this one? It's that one across there. So if we come to here, want to show you the location from about here. I'm going to put my glasses again. I need to be able to see where we're at. Just want to set that back a bit. So we should be somewhere around here. We'll try that once more. Okay. One more time. So this is obviously the PS4 Pro is on the left and the PC is on the right.
Need a blade? You should talk to Adrian at the forge.
Yeah. I have one more location there that I kind of wanted to show you. But yeah, this is as max setting as I can get, and obviously my frame rate is suffering in on the PC here. But graphically it is stunning. I mean, anyone who, you know, when it comes to VR does get some heavy criticism, and you've got comments like, oh, you know, it's a fad, it's this, it's that, it's not ready yet, it's not that convincing, it's not this, that, the other. If you're in this game, a game like this, something like so many good VR experiences, and people sort of like go, oh, how is that so amazing? It is the difference between watching something on a screen and actually being there. You're inside this game. It's simple as that. I think where I was about, used to be a seamount somewhere there. Yeah, I think I was looking there, and we stretch across that way a bit. I think this is going to be the last bit I'll show like this, because time's getting on, and I have to get up in the morning and go to work and do all the sensible things that we have to do to be able to afford this stuff, and, you know, living and everything else in general. So let's just get back to here. I wish I could have got to show you that point there as well. I will put stuff together properly in a video at some point, hopefully. But all this tough stuff takes time. think we're starting around here. Yeah. A little further over, but you get a reasonable idea of that. Okay. So, just going to jump back in here quickly, and sort of like do a bit of closing there. I know I'm going to have to do some different things, but here's the big takeaway that I'm getting from the different systems at the moment. And what I would say in terms of if you're thinking of getting VR, especially with some of the deals that are around, take a look at what you've got. If you have a PS4, even the OG system with the improvements that have been made, it's apparently a very good time still for people with an OG system. But if you have, say, the 4K TV and you've got a Pro for that, then honestly, at the prices that the PSVR is on sale at the moment, and different things with the recent price drops, pick up a bundle. Pick up something like Moss to start with to get you into VR, so that you get your VR legs, and then jump into Skyrim. You know, after you've got a little bit on the VR legs, come and experience this type of world. If, on the other hand, you've got a nice amount of money burning in your pocket, or you've already got a really good gaming PC, if you've already really got a good gaming PC, and you haven't got something like an Oculus Rift, which, yes, still a good bit of money, but it is stunning. It really is coming alive. VR is making games come alive again, and making games that, for some people, they would not have thought of, become appealing when you put the headset on. There's somewhere you go, like I say, as a game, this game on a flat screen, it doesn't appeal to me. It really doesn't. But in VR, this game is absolutely tremendous, because it allows you to explore a real big size world. A medieval world of fire-breathing dragons and magic and sorcery and weapon-wielding barbarians and thieves and all of that. It's all here. Right for the taking. Oh, I should put that one. It's hard to think that I'm starting to try something in the village. But yeah, honestly, I can't stress enough just how amazing.
Just because I'm a Grey Mane doesn't mean I can't earn my own keep. I didn't mean... I'm sorry I asked.
It's just amazing. So, yeah. But PC compared to PS4, for immersion, the immersion is it's there in both cases. Especially now the Pro patch there has made the PS4 Pro. Really, it's up to the limits of what the PSVR can produce visually. I think Skyrim on the PSVR now, with the Pro especially, is so good. On the PC, yeah, there is that extra detail. I thought the screen door effect in this headset would actually make it a good bit lesser of an impact than it has, but it's there. You can see that extra level of sharpness on top. It's like it is like the level of going, okay, pre-patch PS4, and then you've took that amount that the patch has added on the top, and say that's how much they've added on the top, and then the PC at this version of settings adds that again on top. But that price, the price jump obviously is a big high that a lot of people can't go to if you don't have that PC already to power this. And even then, like I say, I really want to see what this game's like with a proper powerhouse graphics behind it. Because this, playing it like this at 90 frames per second would be spot on. Just, yeah. It's mind blowing. Right. Let's just kind of finish that up here. So as I say, it is getting on to be quite late. So, yeah.
What's the matter?
Those are basically my conclusions of what's going on here.
I spend a lot of time
With this, so take it or leave it. Those are my judgments. If you just joined, welcome. Sorry the stream's about to end, but please press likes if you like, dislikes if you do dislike. Can't hold anything against you there. Comments, please ask. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this on playback, there will be a subscribe button that way. If you're watching it live, there's a subscribe button on the page anyway. You can press it, press the notifications. Press the likes, give it a like, comment on the video afterwards, ask questions, and I will try to answer. I am going to try and do a whole comparison here between the OG PS4, the PS4 Pro, and the PC, and that I will see about either also including that as before patch and after patch to each system and each one along the line, so that it can give you a good idea of just where the different parts here sit and fit together. So yeah, if you've enjoyed that, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell if you want those notifications. If not, that's okay, just watch some of the other videos. There's another video that we did last night which is got comparisons between the Pro PS4 Pro version, pre-patch and mid-patch. About 40 minutes into the last night's stream is where that information starts. There's a little clicky link down in the description that will take you straight to the point of where I start doing the split screen. There is obviously the split screen in here, so you can take a look at that and come back. But in the meantime, if you haven't subscribed, like I say, subscription bit button that
I
way.
spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's
Video
trade.
up there.
I need more experience if I'm going to run an
And
errand
another one should be somewhere over there. And from me and Quill from Moss, it's good night.